Hi again, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of Dead Men Talk, and happy Halloween as well. If you're tuning in on release day, I've actually timed this one perfectly, not just because I'm releasing an episode on Halloween and it's called, my podcast called Dead Men Talk, but because I probably got the most perfect guest I could have had for this, which will become apparent for more reasons than one. Not only someone who is a fantastic artist, so I get to talk about someone's creativity, which I absolutely love to do, obviously, on this show, but someone who is self-professed a ghost obsessed, which obviously, anyone who has listened to a few of my shows knows I drop them in whenever I can. It's fantastic to talk to a fellow fan and someone who has almost gone beyond fandom with what they do. I welcome Dez Pittman. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I'm really excited to chat with you.
Yeah, no, this has been cool. I've been really excited since it'll become apparent in a minute. I think I'll give people a flavor of the main reason which kind of brought me to you, and then we'll get into what it is that you do. But there's a particular post I saw. It's just one of these things again, which I love for this show. It's just where someone's work lands on my newsfeed. Not someone I followed at the time, but because we share something, something in common. And this was almost, I feel it's almost like fate that I saw your post and it's brought me to have you on the show. Because again, I had planned this out and I was gonna be like, I'd have this zipped up and I was gonna go surprise, but I've already spoiled it really by doing this. But the fact that this is lost on audio, that I'm sorry to the listeners on audio, but you'll have to watch the video. This is the reason that you're here, really. I mean, apart from the fact that you've done some other fantastic stuff that that we're going to delve into, but this very design, this very t-shirt, and we'll go further into that and how that came about. But I mean, firstly, I don't really know where to start. Should we start with your work? Should we start with your love of Ghost? I think they're going to intertwine anyway as we go along.
Wherever you want to start, I'm cool starting with whatever.
I think probably what's probably best if you kind of just introduce yourself, tell us, a little bit more about you, what you do. Obviously you're an artist, and what brought about your artwork. Firstly, sort of go right back to the beginning, sort of how you got into it initially.
Yeah, sure. I mean, as I'm sure people have heard from a billion different artists, like I've been drawing since I was a kid, which is the true. Like I've always been drawing. Yeah. But I've been drawing since I was young. My dad's an artist. He airbrushes motorcycle tanks and cars and stuff like that. And so I kind of grew up in this house with art all the time. So, and horror is one of my favorite genres.
Awesome.
So I've been trying as the years have progressed to get more into drawing horror type stuff. Which isn't always easy because I feel like it's kind of hit or miss for some people if I post something that's like that, Yeah. But that's definitely what kind of inspires a lot of my work. There's definitely a lot of artists I love to follow that inspire me to do more horror stuff. That's a goal I have within this whole new year is to try and just focus on personal projects that are horror themed.
Okay, cool.
So we'll see how that, and do more ghost stuff. So
and again, I don't want to get into it too soon, but I know
it's okay. I can talk about ghosts forever. So
cool.
I will literally talk about them forever.
let's kind of leave them at the door just a little bit, so don't peek too soon. But so what's some of your earliest kind of works that you did horror related? Then is there anything recognizable? Was it things out of your own head, or what was it?
It's a good question. I did a lot of kind of I guess fan arty type stuff. I would draw the Kessler Wolf from American Werewolf in London, or Jackal torn up and stuff. Kind of stuff like that, just zombies. Oh yes, I did that for a while. I did a lot of conventions, comic conventions and stuff, and I would have artist alley tables, so I'd sell drawings and stuff, and I would do zombie portraits at the convention. And I remember the first year I decided to do that, I was only charging $5 for them, for these little 6x9 cards, and I was just bombarded by people wanting them. So I just the whole time I'm just sitting there drawing zombie
So that-
portraits. I'm like, I can't even get up and look around. I'm just drawing all these zombie portraits.
So was that portraits of people of themselves that they've? Oh
Yep.
wow, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I would I had my little camera, and I would take pictures of them and say, go walk around, do what you want, come back
Yeah.
in like 20 minutes, half hour, I'll have your drawing for you.
Wow.
So
That's cool.
so I kind of started getting into the horror stuff more after that, because I was like, okay, I really like doing this. It's fun.
That's cool. And sort of, I guess this is hard for me talking to someone who is so talented at what you do. Art for me at school was it was the thing I think subconsciously I enjoyed the most. I didn't really enjoy school and that, but art was the one thing where I could kind of lose myself in. And it's the one thing I've left behind. I haven't really tried anything since I left school. And I look at what other people can do, and I get so insanely envious. And I know you will make it look really easy to do something like that on the spot. I mean, do you find it quite natural? Is it quite sort of challenging to work quickly? I mean, how
it's challenging. I definitely anytime a convention starts for me, like when I'm doing like commissions like that, at them, like my anxiety kicks in, because it's like, okay, someone's like trusting me to do this drawing right here, like for them. Whereas if I'm here in my studio, I have time. No one's like watching me do it. There's like a lot of pressure, but at the same time, it's kind of, do I want to say like exhilarating? I guess it's like you kind of get a rush, I guess, like, oh, this is all right, I can do this, I'm nervous, but I can do this.
It kind of the adrenaline, the pressure, someone like that. I mean, I guess, again, go back to school days, I not necessarily art related, but I worked best under pressure. I still do that. If I've got a deadline, I will leave it to the last minute, or I'll make it as difficult circumstances as possible. It's almost like, you've got no option but to do that then. And if you know you've had someone commission you on the spot to do something, you've got to deliver on it, haven't you? So,
exactly.
cool. Okay, so okay, let's get into it then. So Ghost, anyone out there who isn't familiar with Ghost, the imagery has always been fantastic. When did you first discover them? I guess is the easiest question to start with.
So it's a very specific answer too, because I remember like the day.
Same here. Yeah.
I was working Rose City Comic Con out here by me in Portland, Oregon, in 2019. And an artist I follow posted on his story on Instagram that weekend, because I guess they were here that Saturday of the convention, and I hadn't heard of them before. Well, actually, that's a lie. I think a friend had mentioned them to me and said I would like them, but I forgot about it later.
Okay.
So I'm watching through his stories, and it's Ghost live playing Witch Image. And I'm like, who is this band? Like,
on that album, right? That is my favorite song off that album. By the way. So
I love that song.
That's cool.
So much. I was like, and he's wearing like, and Copia's got like his white, suit on. I'm just like, who is this band? They're amazing. Like, I need to find out more. And like, ever since then, it's just been like this obsession of like loving them so much and buying their albums and like all this stuff I've been collecting now.
I mean, you can see a hint of it in the background. We had a discussion about some of the bits that you got, but I mean, look at that.
Like
That's
a bunch
amazing.
of stuff, like action figures, signed posters. Like I just have like on slew of like stuff, and all my t-shirt collection now, which I have close to 80 shirts now.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, I mean, they're the one band actually which they never seem to stop. They've got so much in terms of merchandise, t-shirts in particular. They got so much out there, and the artwork. And this brings me nicely on to really what you do and what you have done, because I bought my first. So my own story with Ghost, just very quickly. My wife and I were going to Download Festival at Donington Park, 2011. A couple of weeks before that, I got the latest issue of Metal Hammer magazine, and they had a very, very tiny, it was about that big, write-up on Ghost. They had done, just a small gig, and they said how amazing they were. And I saw them on the bill, and they were on like the third stage at Download. So I was like, they've got to be on our list to go and see. And all of a sudden, the third stage was packed. So you knew people knew of them already. And we kind of got on the periphery, inside. And the moment he came out, playing Conclave con Dio like he did.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
yeah. And it was Papa One stage as well. It was right back at the beginning, and it's like hypnotic. I was like, this show is like nothing I've ever seen before. We managed to see them. They came down to Plymouth, which is probably about 20 miles away from where we live, the following year or later that year, I think, possibly. And I bought my first T-shirt, and it's the Clockwork Orange sort of style one.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, and I treasured that for years then afterwards, because you couldn't seem to find them anywhere. It was very, very thin on the ground in terms of their merchandise, and all of a sudden, as they got bigger, they had T-shirts coming out your ears, and the artwork always captured me. It was so different for anything else that you were seeing. They had a distinctive style. You knew obviously when it was a ghost show, but there's so many different variations of it out there and different themes and everything. So obviously, okay, let the cat out of the bag. Let's just talk. This is you. Obviously,
yes,
this isn't you. This is Papa Four, but this is your work.
Yes, that's my shirt.
So, obvious question, or obvious questions, I suppose. How did it come? How did the opportunity come about? How did this artwork occur through to making it on the shirt? And how does that feel as a Ghost fan to know that you have part of their history basically is down to your hand?
Yeah, I'll start with the second question first. Like, it feels like so amazing. Like I've literally been waiting a year for this shirt to come out.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because I actually submitted it for last Halloween, but it was too late. So it was held on to until this year. So I couldn't even post about it or anything.
That's insane.
Until now. But like seeing people like wearing it and like tagging me in posts so that I can see it, it's just like so amazing. It makes me like so happy. Like and I know it's sold out on the US shop completely.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and I think there's only like smalls and 3XLs left on the UK site now.
I got in early then. That's great.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I actually received this shirt probably a week, maybe a fortnight ago, but I haven't put it out there and I haven't tagged you in it purposely because I wanted it to be a surprise for this, really.
Yeah, and I appreciate that you like it so much that you bought it. So
it was brilliant. I mean, so my wife and I have been big fans, like I say, since we saw them in 2011, and our 8-year-old twins are the biggest Ghost fans I think I've met.
Nice.
Yeah, so we've introduced them. They were 3 years old when I think my son stumbled across the Square Hammer video on my phone. I had a few videos before. I used to, have YouTube, live on my phone. I actually downloaded videos like that. And he stumbled across it and he just kept watching it over and over again. And all of a sudden it grew where we played in more of their songs and everything like that. So it's become a real kind of family institution. And Halloween is big as well, especially my little boy Oscar. He's mad on Halloween. So when you see a Ghost T-shirt, which has got a pumpkin in it and it's Halloween themed, I mean, it's a winner anyway, really. What was the inspiration behind the image itself? Then let's go to that sort of what.
So this is so I am a part of like a Facebook group that does like a card exchange. It's a Ghost Facebook group, and so that's like the first year. 2021 was the first year I kind of joined in. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna draw my own card. So that was actually my Halloween card for 2021. Okay. And so I didn't make it with the intention of like submitting it for a shirt, but I realized that you're allowed to submit to them for shirts. That's why there's so many different shirts by different artists.
I was going to ask about that. Okay, that makes sense. Right.
Yeah, so I reached out to Global Merch Services, who does all their t-shirts and stuff. I was like, hey, is there like someone I can reach out to submit a design for a Ghost shirt? And they got back to me pretty quickly with a couple contacts, which I then emailed that to both the contacts they gave me. And I wasn't sure if I was going to hear back because I think it was like a month and a half later that someone responded, which I get. I know they don't do merch for just Ghosts, so they're probably inundated with tons of emails. So someone got back to me and he's like, oh, this is great. Just make a couple changes here and there, and then I can show it to the band. I'm like, Tobias is going to see it? I'm like, Tobias is going to see it? I'm like, okay, sure. I did that. I made some changes. Because the card originally, actually, I have the print.
Oh,
If you want me to show you the
yeah, yeah,
original,
yeah. I was
what
going
it
to say
actually looks
anything
like.
that you can show. That would be brilliant.
Yeah, sure. Let me grab it because it's right behind me, which worked out great. So the original actually was when Papa 4 came out first with a little,
Yeah,
skeleton marks on his nose there.
yeah.
So he asked me to remove those since he
Okay,
didn't have them anymore.
right.
And then I had to make his chin a little bigger since the new mask is a little bigger. And I
Yeah.
just kind of changed the smoke around to how it looks on the shirt now. So, and I resubmitted it, and then they're like, all right, it's been approved. I'm like,
Wow.
really? I'm like, you're serious? I'm like, that's so great. I'm like, you have no idea how awesome that is.
Wow.
And then that's when they said, well, we already have Halloween shirt for this year, but it should go to print soon. Which I kept waiting and waiting, but then it didn't happen. So I was like, it's never going to come out. It's never going to come out now. And oddly enough, I had emailed them recently just checking on it because I'm like, they're probably saving it for Halloween
Yeah.
for this year.
Yeah.
And like a week after I emailed them, there it pops up. I woke up because of the time difference. I have a lot of ghost friends in like the UK and stuff like that. So I just wake up 6 a.m. My do not disturb is, turned off now for the day.
Yeah.
And I'm got all these messages from people like, your shirt. I'm like, what do you mean my shirt? They're like, it's on the website. I'm like, oh,
That's
yes,
amazing.
it is.
Yeah. The world knew about it before you.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. That's the best way, isn't it?
I know, because there were, I shared it with certain friends, like, so I submitted this first shirt, fingers crossed that it works. And then, like, yeah, I just got all these messages, and, like, I don't think I got any work done that day. I think I was on my phone, like, all day just replying to people and, like, reposting it and stuff. I was like, I did nothing at work today.
Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah, but it's like, it really made my day so much. And like I said, to see so many people wearing it and really liking my design, just like,
yeah,
it's like giving me this push to really get back to like art stuff. Because sometimes as an artist, you get into a little funk or like a writer's block kind of deal. Same with art. Like, I'll sit at my desk for hours and do nothing because I just nothing's coming to me.
Yeah, you can't force it. You can't force it, but you need to be there when it occurs. I sort of lost my way with that during COVID, where everything else was happening, and I was like, I can't sit in front of a computer and write. But I wish I could have been there when moments have come to me, and just get them down. But oh wow, that is an amazing story. Have you had any communication with Tobias like directly about since this, or no? I think it's a bit of a long shot, but
I wish, but no.
But knowing it's been approved, I had a guy on the first episode of this season who had he'd done some work on the Transformers over here, the Royal Mail stamps. They've released special edition Transformers for the 40th anniversary. They had to be approved by the Queen, design. So I guess in the ghost world, it's this, but a lot of people, non-ghost fans, probably hate me for saying this, but it's the same kind of thing. Knowing that the bands, that he would have had to have approved this in the first place. It's got.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Like you said, the band's gonna look at it. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Go on then. Any more works? Any more plans and to add to your own personal t-shirt collection for them? In terms of your work?
I actually submitted another design recently, so it might be a little bit before I hear back on it. But I did submit another piece, so hopefully
we'll wait and see. That's
hopefully
really
they like that, because I'm really proud of that one. So we'll see. If not, then I'll post it as like a fan art thing.
Yeah.
Right back to me and say no. I'll be like, okay.
Funny you got that. How crazy is it going to be then to be at a ghost gig going forward now, knowing people have got this, and you'll probably see them sort of walking past you?
I'm like hoping so, because I will literally run up to every person wearing one and be like, can I get a picture with you? That's my shirt. That's my goal. And I'm hoping, because I've seen Ghosts twice this year now.
Okay, cool.
But I won't be seeing them again during this tour. I'll wait till they have another album out and I could do another meet and greet.
Yeah.
because I want to wear it when I meet him. Be like, I made this for you guys.
I can see is that couple of pictures in the background? Is that you with? Have you done a meet and greet with them before? That's cool. That's on my bucket list. Yeah.
So that's who do we got here? So that's me and my husband, and then me and my friend who I got into Ghosts.
Okay, cool.
And then I have over here, that's me proposing to him for the meet and greet.
Why not? What was his answer? He looked pretty shocked. So.
Well, my husband was in there with me, so he's asked him if it was okay. So, but of course, I forgot every single thing I wanted to say to him.
Of course,
because as soon as I walk in there, you're just like taken in like by his eyes. I'm just like, I don't remember anything I was gonna say to you.
it's a real kind of aura, I can imagine. You know, I've seen them perform 4 times when they've been over here, but sort of being that close to someone like that. Firstly, again, as a ghost fan, he is a genius, you know, in himself. But the aura, the characters that he carries around with him, I think it's probably very surreal, kind of being that close to him, realizing that's, you know, that, not to sound too fanboy, but that's actually him. You know, it's not like you're looking at the normal, you know, you're not there with Tobias Forge, you're there with whatever character he is at the time.
Yeah, exactly. And he was like super sweet and funny, because I was so nervous. Like I like cried a couple times before we went in there to do the photo with him. My friend documented all of it.
Really brilliant, of course. Yeah, you got to have
evidence. Like every video is just me getting ready to cry, and I'm just like holding back the tears. And like we walk in there, and he's just like, hi, and I just start laughing and covering my face. And he's like, oh, did you hear a funny joke? What's so funny? I like jokes. Tell me the joke. I'm like, no, I'm just really nervous to meet you.
Oh,
and like I asked him if it was okay to like do a proposal photo, and that's when he asked my husband if it was okay, and we took it. And I didn't even ask him to like do that reaction; he just did it himself.
And, and that's the kind of thing, you know. He is such a, I mean, so dramatic, and he's so dedicated to what he does. He can give anyone that moment that is just theirs, you know. Really, it sounds pretty cliche, but I think there is definitely something different about what he does. And
absolutely.
We talk singly about, you know, Ghost is a band, but at the essence of it, I think obviously it is. I'm not going to say it's just him, because obviously his musicians do play their part, but I mean it's his mind that's brought it together. So let's kind of delve into then, you know, your fandom. Let's pick out a few kind of, let's get a flavor for what you enjoy. What was the first time you saw them then? Memories of that. When was that? Where was it? Who was it?
So they played here in January, the end of January. I think it was the 4th. Was it the 4th show of the start of the tour? I can't remember. It's either the 4th or the 6th date for the start of their tour, for their pre-Imperator. Yep. And sorry, I don't know why I did air quotes. Like that didn't belong. But we did the seats because we did the VIP with the meet and greet, and I knew if we did the meet and greet, there's no way I was getting to the rail or anything. So I'm like, we'll just do seats. Like we'll get close seats. And like seeing them live for the first time was just so amazing. Our seats were pretty decent too. I think it was like the second or third row from like the balcony on the bottom.
Yeah.
And it was just so amazing. Like it's really hard to describe just like how happy I was to like be there and see them. And like I appreciated my husband putting up with it so much, because he's not a good fan, but he enjoyed being there with me watching them, because he knows.
And that's cool. That's love. That is when that happens.
He's just like, I just love that you enjoyed it so much and you had a really good time. I'm like, it was great. And like my friend being there with me too, it was just like incredible. And
cool.
To see like Year Zero live like for the first time was like super awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty epic.
Like,
I was going to be my next question, actually. Obviously, favorite song, would that be, if you can pick one anyway, that, you know,
I know that's such a hard question.
Yeah But you know, if I had to pin you down for, you know, for one in particular, well, let's do a top 3. Go on, do a top 3.
Okay. Oh, even that's hard. Okay. I definitely, Year Zero, definitely Conclave Candio, and then I think Mary on a Cross.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah, because
daughter's
when I
favorite one for a long time. Is that
Mary Across.
Kiss the Go-Go actually
Oh yeah,
was
Kiss the
the
Go.
first one she used to. I mean, when she gets into a song, she listens to it on repeat and repeat.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been times that I'm like, I just want you to stop playing that, because at some point I don't want to start getting bored with it because I'm just hearing it all the time. But yeah, Mary on the Cross. It was, I think she went into school one day and they were talking between her friends about their favorite music, favorite albums, and that. And she said 7 Inches of Satanic Panic. And she's 8 years old now. And this
Yeah.
was, it's not the kind of thing that you try and
Yeah.
explain that. Luckily, we haven't been questioned on it, but
Yeah.
it's had a bit of a resurgence, hasn't it, Mary on the Cross? With on TikTok, they seem to be they're massive everywhere now, but they've gotten into this kind of they haven't got into the TikTok, but TikTok has found them almost. How do you feel about that as kind of a diehard Ghost fan? Is it a good thing?
I don't know. I mean, I don't feel bad or good about it per se, because I'm actually not on TikTok. I keep meaning to get on there because I realize I probably should.
With your your line of work, it'd be a good platform, I think, to share.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, I realize I really should, because I'm steering away from Twitter because I just don't.
Okay.
It's Twitter, but like I'm like I should get on something else. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's kind of a good thing because it's. I mean, I'm sure it's getting them more fans from people hearing that song.
Yeah. I think from your perspective as well, I would imagine more fans for them means more t-shirt sales, more eyes on what you do. It's got to be good.
Yeah, since my shirt came out, the amount of followers that I've acquired has gone up so much. I think I was at 2,100 maybe 2 months ago, and I just hit 25 today.
That's cool. No, that's brilliant.
I'm just like, wow, okay. I'm like, I gotta make sure I keep posting ghost stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the moment, I know by the time this goes out, you might have. I don't know if you've reached the end of it. You currently, as we talk, anyway, you're doing. Is it 30 days, 31 days of ghost shirts where you're posting
days,
31 days
for October? I like to do it for the
so,
month of Halloween, so I do 31 days.
So, but when the day this comes out will be your last day, and that's pretty cool in itself,
Yeah.
Having the amount of ghost shirts that you do. How do you pick those ones then? It's just really what comes out first.
I just really, there are certain designs I'm just really fond of. So I usually go for those, and it's funny because every time I'm like, all right, I bought enough shirts for now, I can wait a little bit. And then Rockabilia just came out with that exclusive Halloween shirt, and I'm like, all right, maybe I won't like it. And then I see it and I'm like, no, I like it. Okay, bye.
and it's just, this is why I thought there was only maybe one or a very, very small team of artists behind their imagery, their t-shirts, now, because it's such an identifiable product. I mean, their image is so unique. I thought it's got to come from someone in particular, but I don't know how many, if you've got any better idea of how many artists have worked on their merchandise. But I mean, if you're able to submit, so it could be vast amounts, but
it could definitely be they've been around so long, so I can only imagine how many different people have done shirts. I know there's one artist in particular I really like, and I have a lot of their shirts. Okay. I always forget their name on Instagram. Hold on. And I'm probably butchering it when I say it.
Don't worry.
Where are they? Yuki Don Don is their name. Yuke is their name on Instagram.
Okay.
But they've done a ton of ghost shirts, and I have almost all of theirs, minus some that I'm not able to just get because they're on different sites that don't ship here, or they have older shirts before I got into ghost. So, but they're one of my favorite ghost shirt artists. So every time I see something of theirs, I'm like, gotta get it.
Gotta get it. Okay, so going back to a little bit of an arty question, I suppose, merging art and in Ghost. Is there a particular era of Ghost which inspires you more than others within your artwork?
I don't think so. I mean, I think they're overall just who they are is just inspiration enough for me.
Yeah.
As I'm looking at all my pictures I have of them on the wall. And
Trying to see which one brings forth something more.
Yeah, I
than
guess you
others.
didn't see that, so I have like all those pictures over
Wow.
there.
That's amazing.
Running out of room.
Anyone I know, you know, ghosts, they are, I mean, mega huge now. If you ever had anyone, you know, who has looked at you probably a bit funny because of the band, you know, they can't understand the draw to them, or they don't understand what they are, why they are, like, you know, if anyone basically thought you were just a little bit odd.
Not that I'm aware of. I've had like people, when I've talked to them about ghosts, they're like, oh, I'm gonna check them out, and then they're like, they look different than what they sound like, you know, like sometimes,
That's the
especially
thing.
with the newer stuff. But it's like,
Yeah,
but I love them.
that is
Like,
the
I
thing.
love the whole like.
It's the reinvention or the continuation, I think, of whatever this story is he's trying to tell. Every time they come out with an album, I think for me the first three albums probably merged. I wouldn't say merged into one. They are identifiable on their own, but it was kind of like almost like the same era for me. And then when they brought Cardinal Copia in, and it completely changed. And you know, then I saw the video for Rats, and he's dancing around, and I'm like, this is completely different, really. That kind of opened my eyes to like, there's a shift gone on there. You know, he's trying something else, but it works.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's still my favorite album. Who is your favorite Papa? Then there you go.
I really love Papa 4.
Okay.
I mean, before that, I would say like if I'm in to put it in like an order of who I like best, I guess I wouldn't say least because I love them all. But like it would definitely be Papa 4, Copia, and then in order like 3, 2, 1.
Okay, that's fair enough. Because I think that as he went through the first three, I mean, they were definitely they were. I mean, they've all been completely different, but they were getting younger, weren't they? I think that was the trend there. I absolutely loved Papa 3. I mean, again, I've seen them through from Papa 1, Papa 2, and when we saw them actually the first two times, to correct myself from what I said at the beginning, I think it was Papa 2 we caught them on. I think Papa 1 they just swapped to Papa 2. Papa 3 for me was more fun.
Oh yeah, he's definitely super fun. You know, I wish I could have seen Papa 3.
Yeah,
and
same here. Yeah,
I would have loved to have seen them.
Yeah, I've got a picture. I'll have to send it to you. Back when our kids were, again, they were 3. I was saying before we came on, they're about 3 years old when we got them into them, and I've got a picture of my daughter dressed up as Papa. I don't even know which one she's trying to be actually, but I made her. I can never remember the actual name of it, but the whole, you know, the sort of Pope hat and everything. She had she had a skull scarf around her as a cloak. I'll dig it out and send it to you. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I would love to see that. That sounds awesome.
And this wasn't Halloween or anything. This is just like a Saturday afternoon at home.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, I did. My son actually, he asked me to point him out if you're talking about that. This is his. So.
Oh yeah.
I
actually got him tattooed on me right here.
Oh, that's amazing. It's such again, that's one thing. If their friends come over and they, you know, we got that for Christmas a couple of years ago, I think, and they must look really, really odd, but it's completely normal in our house, you know, to have a
that's awesome. Teddy. Yeah, this was actually my friend who came with me to the ghost show, who I got into Ghost, we got them as like a friendship tattoo because like I just love the whole thing on how the plushie's hideous but everyone loves it. You know, like I love it so much. I'm like, he's so creepy, but I love it. We were my friend and I were having like a little ladies' day and just kind of hanging out, and she goes, we should get the Copia plushie tattooed on us. I'm like, don't even say that because I'll do it. I'm like, I'll do it with you if you want to do it. So we got this like a couple of weeks ago. That's
amazing.
Yeah.
Good effort. No, good effort. I have a feeling that when they're old enough, Oscar probably will get one as well. And you never know. This image will probably be ingrained in him and he won't remember why.
Yeah.
So this has been fantastic. I could talk to you probably for hours and hours about, you know, what you do and Ghost in general. Just before we kind of wrap things up, you did touch on, you've obviously submitted another ghost piece to them.
Yes.
Anything else that you're working on, doesn't have to be ghost, but anything else that you're currently working on that you can give a shout out to, or anything like that? I'll give you the floor, really.
Well, I mean, the only thing I'm currently working on is a trade, which is ghost pieces. I'm doing 4 pop-up portraits for a friend of mine.
Cool.
Actually, my friend that gave me those
Yeah.
pop-up pieces up there, and he gave me some of his cosplay photos. So I'm like,
Cool.
I'll do a trade with you. Like, I'll draw some pop-up pieces for you. So I'm working on those right now. I mean,
is that one of each, or is it?
Yes, I'm doing one of each.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, and they're inspired by another band's kind of albums. So I don't want to post it. I don't want to say anything about it yet, but I'll post them up once I have them all kind of going along here. I have Papa 2 drawn out right now because I wanted to do him first, and then I'll get on doing all the other stuff. Otherwise, I just plan on trying to do some personal projects. I want to do some like horror themed enamel pins, and I do have a horror themed coloring book.
I saw that. Give that a shout out. Yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah, I do have a horror themed coloring book that is available if anyone's interested. I'm doing a giveaway for it right now, actually, which ends next Saturday. I'll announce winners for that. Okay. But that is on my Instagram. If anyone's interested, you can go see that.
Go on then. Give him your Instagram so they can find you as well.
It's just Dez Pittman. That's DezPittman. And I'm wearing a werewolf mask. That's my profile picture.
There you go. Get yourself some even more followers, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
I steer everyone towards that. You put out some great stuff. And the fact that you'll be announcing, these pieces that you've talked about, you'll be announcing on there as well. Definitely pop a follow on there. Don't miss out on that. And obviously, if you want to own the Ghost shirt itself, obviously it's is it just through the Ghost merchandise store? Anyone else stocking it, or is it?
I know their official site for the US it's sold out now. UK might still have some for their official site. I don't know if it's available anywhere else. I haven't checked EMP or anything.
I was on there last night, actually. No, I don't think it's on there. So it's cool. Yeah, there you go. Seal of approval. The fact that it is genuine and legit. You can only get it from their the Ghost official store. And is it Papa and the Pumpkin? Have I got that right, or is that just the name?
It says exactly. I think it says Papa and Pumpkin. I think is what it's labeled as.
There you go. But you won't be able to miss it. It's fantastic. Listen, Dez, thank you so much for coming on. This has been amazing to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm sorry we can't talk more about ghosts for hours, but
it'd be great. I know you're very, very busy, and I will probably get I'll probably be looking at divorce papers if I duck out on another bath time or bedtime, so I don't really want to do that. So
okay.
But no, it's been fantastic. Good luck with everything else. Congratulations again on the success so far with this design, and it's going to be
thank you so much. I really appreciate that you bought one.
No, yeah, like I say, I was gonna get one anyway. It's just it was odd that then I just happened to see your post float up to say you were the one that did it. There you go. And it was even better when you responded, because I do, I see odd things like this, and I see people I really want to have on the show. Some of them don't come back to me at all. So the fact that you responded and you were up for it made this even more perfect for a Halloween episode.
Always. So, anything goes. I am always happy to talk about. Like, I will talk to strangers in the street. I don't care.
Or those strangers that you'll find wearing your shirt at the Ghost gigs. Absolutely. Listen, Dez, thank you so much again. Everyone, get out there, buy the shirt, follow Dez on Instagram. He's got some fantastic work out there, needs to be seen. So yeah, all the best with it, and yeah, hopefully get to do this again sometime, maybe.
Yeah, awesome. I'm always up for it. Just let me know.
Will do. Thanks again.
Oh, thank you. Later.
Bye. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to like, share, and hit the subscribe button. Also follow us on Facebook and Instagram to keep updated about all future shows.